Everyone kind of thought it was going to be this 2-week thing, and then this whole coronavirus was just going to be over.
It wasn't 2 or 3 weeks. It lasted a whole lot longer. And then the worst part about it was I personally went to all the stores and laid everybody off. And that was the worst day of my life.
I don't know where to start. I mean, we closed the restaurant at first as mandated by the governor. I had to furlough the staff. It was definitely a gut punch. It was nothing that none of us wanted to do. I had a great staff. We'd already gone through some people, like you do when you open a restaurant the first couple months.
That was very shocking actually, because that was just when I got promoted up to the restaurant manager, and then 2 days after I was like the restaurant manager, we ended up shutting down. And that was like a heartbreak to me because I already fell in love with the food, the restaurant, the 82 Queen family, and my heart sunk. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen.
It's a lot being quarantined. It's a lot being alone for 6 weeks. It's a lot of sadness.
Unfortunately in the Charleston restaurant scene, winter is our worst time. We carry staff through winter to get to spring.
The timing honestly could not have been worse for the hospitality industry. In the slower months, January, February, there's not a lot of tourists in town. By February, we're starting to ramp up to get ready for the season. And then come early March, after we've all spent a lot of money to get ready for everything, and we've gone several months without making any money, here comes this pandemic, and the timing was horrible.
And so we come out of the worst time of our business cycle to then not have the season that actually makes our year. So it was just, we had no reserves at that point to carry anybody. So, it was just that tough decision and letting them know, hey, go file for unemployment. I'll do everything I can to help you. I'll go every day and go to their site and talk to them and help you get what you need to stay afloat. And then our goal here is to make sure this business exists when this is over for you to come back to.
It's really been an up and down as far as, trial and error, doing different things to see what works best for us and our customers.
I brought back my sous chefs as soon as we possibly could after a few weeks. And then I just was very cautious about bringing back line cooks. Like, all of them were willing to come back, but I didn't want to pull them off unemployment until I was absolutely sure that I could keep them employed. Because the last thing I want to do is bring them back for a week or two and then go, okay, things have changed again, now you go back on unemployment. I didn't want to do wrong by them at all.
We thought we were going to have to shut down one of our restaurants for good, and then we ended up finding a really great new location. So we've had to reopen a restaurant in the pandemic, which has been stressful, kind of exciting because we know that we can do it and we're really excited about this new adventure. So that was kind of a whirlwind.
Jonathan, honestly, he definitely calmed me down the most. He was like, I'm not planning on losing this restaurant. That made me feel a lot more confident, and knowing I still had a place after it was over was still very comforting. So Jonathan helped me out with that, and then I got the phone call. He was like, we're doing it. We got a plan, let's go.
So eventually, after about a month of being shut down, we started doing a to-go and kind of a drive-through. So the way the parking lot was set up, it was kind of perfect for us. We were able to set up tents in the parking lot, have our staff outside wearing masks, gloves, staying as safely as they can.
We got a tablet that I actually went out there, I took all the orders, and then they would just drive around. And it kind of was nice the way this building was set up. It worked out to make a big drive-through because the food comes out on the other side and we bring it to them. They didn't even have to get out the car.
And then we started doing little pop-ups, and we brought the food to the people for about 3 weeks. We were doing that.
It was a bunch of fun, and just the gathering of the people that came, it was really, really nice. It really was, because you were bringing people out in a safe atmosphere and serving them good food too. So it was nice.
So the protests were happening in Charleston. They were peaceful. They were going fine. They were doing And everything was happening the way it should happen, peaceful protest. So I get a phone call about 8:30 that all of our reservations are canceling at 82 Queen. So I start to turn on the news, and it's starting to escalate.
Pretty much, it's all hands on deck with law enforcement, I would imagine, trying to alleviate this situation in downtown Charleston.
I got back into service and had 2 or 3 text messages and wasn't really sure what was going on. So I came back to Charleston and I start seeing everything. I was like looking at stories on social media, getting text messages from friends. And then I talked to our manager at 82 Queen, who is a 24-year-old, young lady, really amazing, loves her job. But she was stuck inside with all of our employees and our customers as people were going down the streets throwing rocks through our windows.
I couldn't get back downtown. They'd already locked down downtown. And so I'm on the phone with the manager, here, let's get everybody out of the building. Let's get everybody out. So there was no time to really digest information. It was just react, to what's happening. So now it's about 10 o'clock. I'm on the phone with the manager. Windows are getting smashed. They have no idea what's happening. And so I'm on to just get everybody in the building in the back, lock yourselves in, we'll figure it out. So do that, we call the cops. The police response time, understandably, is very slow. So they stay locked in the back. In that process, call the hotel next door. They've got a couple rooms available. I got everybody a room for the night. Like, don't go out, just stay. We've got you a room for the night. Everybody will be safe. You figure it out in the morning, we'll look at it. I mean, ultimately, it was an unfortunate occurrence that happened here in Charleston. I think all of us who live here think that, that it's, not how Charlestonians react.
I don't even know how to put it in words. It's so scary to know that like one of your friends was there at a restaurant that you've been at for so long and that you care so much about. And then just the damages and the heartache to see what could go on in Charleston, because that's not Charleston.
So I've had this theory for a long time that Charleston's, if not the most resilient city ever, it's one of the most. And the hospitality industry in Charleston, they have blown me away with their resiliency and with their commitment to getting through this. Whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do.